Hey guys, how's it going? Sean here with Westcott Designs, located in Phoenix, Arizona. Today we're going to be doing an airbag delete kit on this Toyota Tundra. Let's get started. So the first step we're going to want to do is there's this clip that's going to be located on top of where the airbag sits. Pretty easy to pull out, but on the passenger side there's a lot of stuff that's in the way. So you just got to kind of reach up and underneath, just kind of wiggle it out. And that guy will pop out just like that. And the next step, we're going to want to remove the nut that's on the bottom here, located on the bottom side of the axle. Up in here, you're going to have 3 lines, one up top, one in the middle, and one directly at the bottom. You want to go ahead and release these so then you can release the air out of the airbags, which makes it easier to remove them. These guys, the bottom one's pretty easy to pull out. The top 2, you just kind of have to wiggle them because if you can see, there's a little lip on them and there's a little clip on the inside that kind of grips over them. If you just kind of wiggle them and pull them out, they'll pop out. All right, so once you have the air released and you put these airlines back into place, you're not going to utilize the system afterwards, but you do want to put everything back where it belongs. Next step, once you have the air completely out of the bags, you can go ahead and remove the bag. Just lift up on it. It'll drop out. Now there is an airline that's attached to it, and up inside the frame, I don't know if you can get up in here, there's a little elbow in there. All right, so next step after we get the airbag off, what you're gonna wanna do is get a support underneath the axle and kind of put some upward pressure on it. We're gonna be taking off the lower section of the shock here from the axle. It's a lot easier, especially when you have something aftermarket like King's on, versus taking off the top bolt. So for this guy, I use a 17 millimeter. Work that guy off. And what I'll do on these guys is mask it off just to kind of protect the anodizing that's on it. All right, next step, we're gonna be removing this bolt here. It's gonna be using a 12 millimeter. You can just leave the bolt hanging in there. That'll just help when lowering the axle to get the spring in place. All right, so next step, we're gonna be installing our Westcott Designs rear perch kit. This is gonna give us about 1 inch of lift in the rear to kind of level everything out. With this guy, all it's gonna be is just, it's got this little positioning spot here that's gonna go inside the axle, and then this nut, bolt, and washer setup is gonna go in a little slot in the back here. All right, so a little hole right in here in the frame. It's where that guy's gonna sit in. And we do have them labeled as well, driver and passenger. Set that guy into place. And for that guy, you're going to be using a 13 millimeter to tighten it up. All right, so next step, once you have that plate in place, just going to go ahead and relieve the pressure off the axle, let it kind of drop down. And then next step, got a factory spring here that we're going to be putting in place. This guy's just going to tuck up in here. Now, a lot of times you run into an issue as far as there not being enough space. You can kind of tell I'm gonna have to do a lot of pushing up on this guy to get it to sit. All right, once you have the spring back in place, you can go ahead, put some tension back on the axle so you can get your shock mounted back in place. And when placing this guy back on, put some Loctite on your bolt there. All right, last step. I'm gonna be putting this bolt back in place. Let the stand down. That wraps up our install of the airbag delete kit for the Toyota Tundras. If you guys liked what you saw here, make sure to give us a like, subscribe to our channel to get more content like this.